My name is Jesse Aguilar, and I'm a candidate for CTA Vice President. I've been a teacher at East Bakersfield High School in Bakersfield for 29 years. I've been a local union leader for most of that time. I've spent 20 years on state council, and I've been a member of the CTA Board of Directors for the last 7 years. I'm an unlikely candidate. I'm the son of farm workers. I don't come from generational wealth. I don't come from a pedigree of leadership. I didn't attend the most expensive universities. I came to leadership accidentally. I came to leadership because I don't like bullies. I came to leadership because fighting for what's right is important, because fighting for a cause is better than fighting for personal advantage, and because lifting people up is better than tearing people down. I understand what it's like to not have enough. I understand what it's like to be seen as less than. I know what it's like to be stereotyped, to be caricatured, to be the target of racial tropes. I also know what it's like to persevere, to grow confidence in a drought of support, and how to not let the bitterness of bad circumstance poison the possibility of a better tomorrow. I've been an unlikely candidate my whole life. I moved past my mom's educational attainment by being promoted out of elementary school. I moved past my dad's by graduating high school. Graduating from college made me a statistical anomaly. Running for the office of vice president is simply an act of audacity. I'm an unlikely candidate. But sometimes the unlikely ones are exactly the people we need. They are the people who see the answer when nobody else can. They are the folks who see the world differently. They are the ones who see worth in those constantly overlooked and understand that the strength of CTA lies in our members and that every member has value. I'm running because I believe I can bring a new perspective to the office of vice president. I can bring a new worldview, a new understanding, a new awareness that isn't present now. The awareness that we're a big state. The awareness that we are geographically diverse, politically diverse, culturally diverse. An understanding that Southern California, Northern California, and Central California are as different as they are the same, and that diversity is a strength rather than a liability. When I was first elected to the CTA board, I came in with a mission. I saw a lot of problems that I wanted to fix. In my first year, I moved changes to the CTA elections manual. I successfully removed election rules that were unfair, rules that made absolutely no sense, and rules that existed to limit how candidates could define themselves. I made other changes too. I've made rules that make it harder for board members to drag policy language into closed session for the sole purpose of killing that policy in the dark. And I've championed rules that make us more transparent, more accountable, and more relevant to members. It hasn't been easy. I came to realize that doing the right thing is often complicated by political ambition, political retribution, and a need to assume motivation, define moral character, and cast judgment. When the board voted to restrict voting options for local associations in July, I pushed back. The decision was made without local association input, without evidence of harm, and without an understanding of the harm that new rule would cause. I brought that issue up at 2 subsequent board meetings, and when arguments failed to persuade, I wrote a dissent. I spoke to the dissent at Service Center Council meetings and organized members at State Council. In November, the board, reacting from pressure from members, unanimously voted to revert to the original language and abandoned a rule that caused more problems than it solved and ignored local autonomy. The issue was allowed to fester for months. Had I been a member of the officer team, I would have acted sooner. We need a CTA that understands, at its core, that we are strongest when our locals lead, and that local leaders and local decisions should be respected, rather than ignored, overlooked, and brushed aside. We need a transparent CTA, a CTA where elected leaders aren't afraid of sharing their votes, where decisions aren't hidden from members, where the beliefs and values of our members mean something, and our foundational considerations in decision-making. We need a CTA built on mutual respect, an understanding that differing opinions aren't reasons to hate each other, one where dissent is accepted rather than treated as a character flaw, a CTA that brings members together rather than one that creates and promotes factions. We need a CTA that lives up to the truest sense of the word union. As this campaign moves forward, I look forward to your questions. I look forward to conversations. I look forward to defining who I am and what I believe. I look forward to sharing my experience, my hopes for our union, and why now is the time for an unlikely candidate. Thank you.